So first of all, what is 3D printing? 3D printing is a quite new technology, quite new because it was developed in 1984, but diffused only in the last 10 years. It's a process that creates a 3D object starting from a digital model and using a 3D printer in order to release a material layer by layer. So this technology is also known as additive manufacturing. How to create a digital model? You can use a CAD, a computer-aided design. That is a software dedicated to design the model, or you can use a 3D scanner that is now available on the market. When you create the digital model, the next step is to slice the model in n layers in order to create a file that the 3D printer can read. The most famous file for 3D printer is STL file, named from the name comes from the stereolithography that was the first technology applied to 3D printing. Once the 3D model is sliced, the data is sent to a 3D printer, and the 3D printer release a specific material layer by layer under computer control, moving along 3 different axes. The history of 3D printing starts in 1984 with Chuck Hull, that is the engineer, one of the founder of a 3D system that is probably the most important company together with Stratasys in the world of 3D printing. And he named the technique stereolithography and obtained the patent. And in the same years, other 2 engineers, Joe Beeman from University of Texas, Joe Beeman, and I don't remember, Charles Dickier, released a new patent named selective laser centering that is a new technology applied for 3D printing. So 3D printing methods are a lot. Stereolithography that you can see on the picture on the right side is a technology based on the use of a light, most of the time ultraviolet light, that hits a tank contain a photopolymer resin. When the light hit the photopolymer are sensitive to the light, and the resin is solidified and then released layer by layer in order to construct the 3D object. The most famous method to print a 3D object in a commercial fashion is fused deposition modeling or fused filament fabrication. And this is the method of the 3D printer for hobby. In this case, you have a filament that pass through an extruder. The extruder heats the filament, and then the material is deposited through a nozzle on a platform. The platform moves, and then you can construct the object layer by layer. Probably the great research in these years is about the 3D printed material. In the past, you can use only plastic. You can use ABS on polylactic acid in order to create a 3D object. But now there is a great research on metal in order to work with gold, with silver for jewel, for example, or in a aeronaval industry. Research on material for the metal material is a great and important developing for 3D printing. But you can use ceramics, you can use biomaterial, and you can use food. Chocolate is one of the most important material used to create a 3D printing material object. And I don't know if you know the first 3D printing restaurant in the world. This is an amazing company named Food Inc. that are working to spread the 3D printing application in the food industry or in a restaurant. This is there are 4 different restaurants in the world now that use 3D printing for food. One is based in Santa Monica, one other in Barcelona, another one in Spain, and in London. It's very interesting. And they announced just 2-3 months ago a world tour in the most important cities in the world in order to spread this technique applied to food and restaurant. But 3D printing is a multi-billion-dollar market, extremely important. In 2020, probably $21 billion is the market for 3D printing, and it reached the interest of a lot of magazines, a lot of media. This is only 2 examples in the Economist or Wired journal. This is very interesting. You know this graph? What is this graph? This is a methodology by the world leader in strategic consultants and in IT technology, and the company is called Gartner, and release every year this graph. On the name of this graph is Hype Cycle, and for the analysis of the adoption of the spread of a new technology. So if you look, this is the last one in 2016. If you look at all the technology on this graph, 3D printing is not more on this graph, because 3D printing is old now. It's not a new technology now. Which is the new technology in printing? It's 4D printing. 4D printing is the new technology, which is the 4 dimension, is transformation with time. So is a new technology based on material that transform the shape over the influence of external stimuli like temperature or light or environmental stimuli. And it's very fascinating, especially in medicine or in manufacturing. Like the first example is Amazon. Amazon probably in the next future use 4D printing to assemble the pack without no more people to assemble, because they invented a method that a box transform itself to contain. Yeah.
Like origami?
Like
origami, where you fold?
Yeah, is a material that transform and becomes a box. And in medicine, this is the one of the last release in scientific reports, is a 3D printed silicons with shape memory, in order to build like a cardiac stent in the future, transforming the shape into the body. So application of 3D printing has a lot of application in the medical field, in aeronautical, in a lot of industry. But come back to the 3D printing application. You can see, we have. This is the hype cycle applied to only to 3D printing application in medicine. And you can see the different part of the curve. The first part is the innovation trigger. So when a technology is developed, there is a very important spread at the start of new technology. Then the technology reach a peak of expectations. After that, most of the technology disappear for a lot of reasons, and only some technology reach the commercial. So 3D printing for prototyping is one of the most important applications at the moment. 3D printing for hearing devices is absolutely a good application. 3D scanner, 3D printing for dental devices is very diffuse, but 3D printing of medical device is at the level of great expectation at the moment. So, which are the potential application in medicine? Tissue and organ fabrication for what is called bioprinting. Creation of customized prosthetics, implants and anatomical models, and the new field of research is the pharmaceutical manufacturing. And I like every time I do this presentation to remember a great friend of Fernando and Rodrigo, his name is Jaurus Dourado, is a urologist in Brazil that first in the world developed an application on your phone for having a 3D model to plan surgery. Now there are a lot of these applications, but Doc Do was the first one 2 years ago to create a 3D organ models to plan surgery. This is a project I'm doing with Salvatore Micali together with Jamie Landman in Los Angeles. Is a multi-institutional evaluation of producing a 3D printed laparoscopic trainer, and the paper is under evaluation of Gold Journal at the moment. And this is my personal project in Tor Vergata University. I work on this project in the last 3 or 4 years. Is a 3D extraordinary system model for training at low cost. This is the video. Yeah, we work on with a normal filament to create an upper urinary tract system starting from a CT scan, and then we use the model as a stamp for a latex bath, in order to use latex as the material that is more elastic. This is the first navigation into the model. Is a prototype at the moment, but we hope in the future to create a model for training with different shape of excretory system. This is a new research on 3D printing applied in medicine on pharmaceutical manufacturing. In 2015, I don't know if you know, the first pills entirely printed with a 3D printer is on the market. The name is Pritam. That is a drug for epilepsy. But there are a lot of potential benefit to use 3D printing in pharmaceutical manufacturing. Increases product complexity, personalization, on-demand manufacturing, and increased compliance. So probably, I don't know, in the future, a man can enter in the pharmacy and ask for pills, personalized pills, and then the man can print at the moment the pills. So at the end of my talk, I like to remember a phrase by Anthony Adler that is probably one of the leader in bioprinting. If you can think about it and imagine it, and you don't have the tools to do it today, most likely you should have the tools to do it tomorrow.